I'm Adam Watson.
This is Sharon Watson.
Little bit of story time on this one. So I will occasionally stop at garage sales on my way to the warehouse. Normal thing. Lots of people do that, I'm sure. For some reason this year, I found more comics than I think I've ever found. I found a lot of good stuff, but this particular lot is probably the best one that I've ever found, especially for the price that I paid. Stop by a cell that's at a cluster of houses. Stop by the first one, don't really see a lot. Stop by the second one. There's a lady who's trying to sell me reptilian cages, telling me that she used to appear in Penthouse and Hustler, which was kind of strange. Third house I go to, I see a couple of long boxes and I'm like, all right, this is where I belong. So I go up, see these long boxes, spotted a table full of trade paperbacks and hardcovers. Hadn't really looked at anything yet though. Just kind of asked the guy what he'd wanted. At first he said $325. I only had about 20 bucks in cash on me at the time. So I asked if he was willing to make a deal if I went through a few things. He said, yeah, he was. So I decided to go through the trades and hardcovers because I am a reader more than I am a collector or a reseller or whatever. So I wanted to take a look, created a stack of 20, asked him what he wanted to take. And the first 20 I picked out, I have no idea what this is. Kali. It's a Dark Horse book. It's an oversized hardcover. Looks interesting enough. I have no idea. Never heard of it before. Next up, got Stranger Things Library Edition Volume 3. This one is still sealed. I've never read the Stranger Things comics. I really don't have too much interest in them. I do see Greg Pak is one of the names listed. I know Greg is a good writer. I don't know anything about this though. This is more something that like my youngest daughter will probably enjoy, so she might end up with this one. And then something I did want. I'm a huge fan of the boys comics. When the omnibus hardcovers came out, I unfortunately couldn't justify spending the money on them at the time. They haven't gone up in value as far as I know. So there's been a few times where I've almost pulled the trigger at like a $50 price point. So when I see this, I kind of figure, hey, I'll pick out 20. If the guy says 60 to 80 bucks, something like that, I'll just run to the bank, pick up some money, come back. It'll be worth it because this is in there, right? So I ask him what he'll do on these 20, and he says, how about 10 bucks? So for just 50 cents, I got the boys hardcover omnibus volume 3, which was definitely on my want list. Next is Eerie Volume 2. I have a bit of a blind spot when it comes to Eerie. I know about some of the history, but I've never actually read any of them, so this is pretty cool. It's probably going to be like a Halloween read. And then Essential Judge Dredd Necropolis. This one does have a little bit of damage up in the corner, but for the price I paid, who cares? I know that Necropolis is one of the higher rated Judge Dredd stories. At least I think it is. Judge Dredd is something that I have a bit of a blind spot for too. I've seen both movies. Carl Urban one, of course, is great. But I've never read any of the comics. So looking forward to finding out what this one is all about. When the guy told me 10 bucks for the 20, I just told him to hang on to the $20 bill and then asked how many more I could get for the other $10. He told me I could pick out another 20, so I got 40 in total for the $20 bill. Pretty damn good deal in my opinion. This is, I think, the New Adventures of Tarzan. I could be wrong, but I think this is a reprint of newspaper strips. I do like Tarzan, so I'm definitely going to give this one a read. And then we have another hardcover EC book. This one is extra, the EC Archives. I have no idea what exactly is collected in here, but I have a bit of a blind spot for EC, so I'm definitely going to be reading those. And this one looks great. It's actually really thick. Let's see if you see that. Choke Gasp, a selection of handpicked EC comic stories. This one, definitely going to be reading. I, of course, know who the Vault Keeper and the Crypt Keeper are, but I don't know too much about EC in total. So then we have Beasts of Burden, by Evan Dorkin and Jill Thompson. I do have a couple of these. I don't know if I have this one or not. This one is probably the worst conditioned book in the whole lot. It looks like it was a former library book, something like that. But for 50 cents, I don't really care. And then on Sunday, I ended up going back to the sale, thinking he'd probably be sold out of everything. He wasn't. I think he had maybe sold a couple of things that didn't sell to me. So I asked him what he would take on all the trade paperbacks, the 2 long boxes that he had, and a box of magazines. This comes from a box of magazines. I'll tell that price in a minute. First, we'll go through these. This is subgenre. I have issues 4, 3, and 1. I don't think I have issue number 2. No, I don't have number 2. So this actually looks pretty interesting. I don't know Matt Kent's work all that much. It's in magazine format though. Looks interesting. I'll give it a read. And then one of the newer DC Black Label, the label that replaced Vertigo. I don't think it should have replaced Vertigo. Vertigo was a really good label. I'm not sure why they did that. But this, at the very least, the City of Madness books, there's 2 different issues here. They have really cool covers. And then this one, Batman One Dark Knight. This is written and drawn by Jock. Jock is a great artist. So at the very least, that'll be fun to look at. I don't know much about Distillery, but Somna.
I've read some of that one. The artwork in it is incredibly beautiful.
Okay, well, Becky Cloonan, great creator right there. And then this was a book that just got thrown in. So as I was leaving the cell, the guy's mom came up to me and asked me if I wanted a tub of her other son's comics, because if I didn't take them, she was just going to throw them away. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely rescue those. This was a book that was in there. This isn't, well, actually, no, The Very Best of British Boys Comics. This is actually comic related. I thought this was just an Illustrator magazine, but nope, it's comic related too. So then more from the magazines. This is Creeps number 30. I don't know very much about this beyond and besides that it's done by the Top Warren creators. So I don't know if it reprints stuff from old Warren magazines. It says Warrant magazine. I don't know if it's featuring things that were originally in Vampirella or the magazines from that era, but it looks pretty cool. Cool cover. The Lion and the Eagle. Know nothing about this, but it has Garth Ennis on it, and that's enough for me to read it. 2000 AD magazines. So, you know, I do want to read more Judge Dredd, more 2000 AD in general. So these are great to have. Subgenre. I guess I do have issue number 2. I lied a minute ago. Savage Sword of Conan. This is one of the newer Titan Conan comics in its magazine format. It looks cool. I've heard good stuff. Arcudi, that's a good name. Star Wars. This is something I have zero interest in personally keeping, so this is going to be like trade or selling sort of stuff. But got Star Wars, Darth Vader, 2 of those. Dr. Aphra, another Dr. Aphra. I'm not interested in those personally. I'm not a Star Wars fan. But all the same, you know, it's cool to have. Black Panther, Long Live the King. I do not like the graphic design of this cover. It might be a great comic on the inside, but the graphic design is horrible on that cover. Just gonna be honest there. Unlike this one, which has great graphic design, Memetic. It's done by James Tynion IV. The only thing I've read of James Tynion is Something's Killing the Children. It's okay, I think it's overrated. But this actually looks pretty cool graphic design wise. I don't know. I'm not a person who's wrapped up in the sloth craze everyone seems wrapped up in, but sloths are like everywhere on the internet. You don't know that?
They?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, people
I
love
didn't
sloths.
know they were everywhere.
But that one looks cool. I might give that a read. This is The Seeds by David Aja or Aja. I actually don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'm not a good
And
person.
Ann Nesenti. Ann Nocenti wrote a lot of Marvel comics back in the day. This is one of the Burger books that are done through Dark Horse. The only problem with this one is it's not in English, so I can't read it. It's cool though, and this one actually has like a really weird texturing on it. I wonder if the English edition has that too. It's pretty cool. The Navigator. I have no idea what this is. Looks like sci-fi. I'm not a sci-fi guy, so I'm probably not keeping that. Spawn Compendium Volume 1, the big fat Spawn edition that collects first 50 issues. I already have the hardcovers of this, so this isn't something I need. Another drawing book was included in there. How to Draw What You See. Looks cool. I have a bunch of this kind of stuff, so I'll take a look through it. I've actually wanted this for quite a while. The Eisner Miller interview. I know this has been referenced on some other channels. Believe Cartoonist Kayfabe did some of this. I wanted to read that for quite a while, so that's cool to have. American Comics, a History. I have no idea what this is, but I collect industry stuff, so that is a good thing for me to have. This Wolverine cover actually looks awesome. As a kid from the 90s who collected every single thing X-Men, I, of course, know who Maverick is. So Wolverine versus Maverick on the cover. I didn't even know Maverick was a character that was still around in the X-Men comics. I haven't read an X-Men book for quite some time. This one I actually am kind of interested in reading. Howard the Duck. It's hit or miss when it's not the Steve Gerber stuff. But this does look fun, and I've heard good things about Chip Zdarsky's writing, so I'm probably going to give this one a try. Anything from the world of Hellboy is worth at least trying out. Lobster Johnson, I own a couple of Lobster Johnson trades. They're great. I'm going to, of course, give that one a try. Terminator The Burning Earth. This features the first published artwork of Alex Ross. This is, of course, later printing. But this features the first published artwork Alex Ross ever did. Notoriously on either the third or fourth issue, he wasn't getting paid by Now Comics, who were the original publishers of it. And so he painted into, I think it was Sarah Connor's glasses, Now Comics Sucks, in like a binary font, which is pretty notorious, you know. Fallen Sun, The Death of Captain America. It has some good names attached to it. John Cassaday, Jeff Loeb, David Finch, Ed McGuinness, John Romita Jr. It might be a fun read. I don't know. I'm not that big of a Captain America fan, so I'm not sure. Barbarella. I have no idea what this is. If it's based off the old Barbarella movie or what. Something Dynamite did. Could be good. Dynamite does a lot of good stuff. Bad Mother. I don't know what this is exactly. Mom who goes on a killing spree, I guess. So kind of like Serial Mom from the 90s, maybe.
She's not good at washing clothes if there's still so many stains in that shirt.
Bad Luck Chuck. Not sure what that is either. Bad Reception. I have no idea what this is, but the cover is interesting. Midnight Rose. Another one that I've never heard of. Don't know what it is. Interesting cover though. These are a little bit smaller than standard size Digest. A little bit larger than Digest, a little bit smaller than standard size trade paperbacks. Refuge. I don't know who this one is, and this one does not have a publisher that I'm familiar with or any names I'm familiar with. But the artwork's interesting on the cover. Falling Skies. I think this one is based off of a sci-fi show. That's about all I know about it. It's not something that interests me. Halo Legacy Collection. I'm guessing by the names on this one that this reprints the Marvel stuff that Marvel did with the Halo comics. It's like a softcover compendium. It's pretty thick. And I might read that, but I probably won't. Halo doesn't interest me to that degree, you know. The Witcher Omnibus. Same sort of thing where this is like one of the big, thick compendiums. Cover on it is awesome. It's definitely a Mike Mignola cover. But I don't see his name mentioned anywhere on here in the creator credits, so I think it's just a cover. I'm probably not going to get around to reading that one. I like the TV show, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer, another one I'm not really interested in keeping my own self, but, you know, still. Star Wars Darth Vader, once again, not really interested in Star Wars. Something is Killing the Children, Volume 3. I might give this one another try. Part of my problem with it is probably nothing to do with the quality of it. It's people act like when a new horror comic comes out that it's the scariest thing ever. I've never been scared by any comic ever. I've never really been scared by any book either, though. So I often think that a lot of the horror stuff is overrated for that reason. That might be a stupid reason. I did end up enjoying like Lock and Key, despite the fact that people told me, oh, it's so scary. There's nothing scary about Lock and Key, but it's a good comic. This one, No One Left to Fight. I have no idea what this is. Scout Volume 1. This is something I have read, and I know this is excellent, but I already own the oversized hardcover, so I don't need that. Something is Killing the Children, Volume 2. Same sort of thing. Marvel Zombies. So this is actually a pretty fun comic. I've read it before. Not really too much to say about it, though. Heroes Reborn. I have no idea what this is, other than the fact that it's Punisher and Elektra on the cover, and Cloak, and two characters. I have no idea who they are. Maybe Crossbones and the Wasp's daughter and Ant-Man's daughter, maybe? I don't know. The only thing I know about this is that it doesn't look like the Heroes Reborn I know, which was Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld. Another Buffy. Not overly interested in Buffy's. Avengers versus X-Men. Crossover that happened a couple years back. That's about all I have to say about that one. Black Hammer Secret Origins. Another copy of Midnight Rose. And then we have standard Stranger Things hardcovers. Or not hardcovers. Trade paperbacks. So there's actually quite a few Stranger Things trade paperbacks. And No One Left to Fight. Another one of those. I actually thought this one must be a comic when I first saw it, because I didn't think it, or not a comic. I actually thought this one must be a book when I first saw it, because the cover of it does not look like a comic, but no, it is. It's a graphic novel. Something is Killing the Children, Volume 3, another one of those. Department of Truth, Volume 1. I tried reading this one before, I just could not get into it. So I guess I did try reading something else 10 in a row. 2 copies, the Dungeons & Dragons Library Collection, Volume 2. These are thick trades. I've never played D&D. Probably never will in my life. You have, though.
I have. I'm not interested in reading comics of other people's adventures.
Yeah. These I actually got super excited when I first saw it, because I had no idea Resin Alien was ever available in hardcover format. Unfortunately, that right there clues you in that this is a German edition. And, you know, when you look here, it's pretty obvious. These are German editions. I can't read German, so unfortunately, I won't be keeping those. But Dark Horse, you really should put that in hardcover format. We'll Soon Be Home Again. I don't know what this one is. I do like the artwork on the cover. It looks like it has something to do with the Holocaust. There's some really great elements in this cover that are kind of subtle. Like if you look down here, you'll see the star in the puddle, but also her feet are being reflected, and she's wearing prisoner gear.
Shackled.
So, no, she's not shackled. She has the pants on that they force people to wear in the internment camps. So that's very subtle. I really like that. It's a nice touch. That looks good. The artwork on it looks amazing.
The cloud in the background is also a skull.
Oh, yeah, it is. I didn't even notice that. Mm-hmm. Deja Thoris. I think that's a character from John Carter, Warlord of Mars, I think. I'll probably give this a read. I like a lot of sword and sorcery. I like Dynamite, so I might as well give that a try. So this one is Modern Love, EC Archives. This one makes me feel really stupid about EC because all these years I thought EC only published horror comics. I had
Oh,
no idea they had love comics.
you had no idea they published Dirty Dirty Cheater comics.
That's what this one is, because the guy on the cover here is cheating on this woman with her own sister while she's crying in the background watching them. I'm hoping though that in standard EC tradition, they end up as like sausage at a butcher shop the next day. Whatever the case, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I had no idea that they did love comics. Did you know that Jack Kirby at one point in time wanted to do a comic that brought together all the old classic golden age artists that did like the just married comics and romance comics at the time to do just divorced comics
I did not know
that would now show like their jaded worldview and perspective? That thing would have been great. I have no idea
Yeah.
why DC turned that down. I think it was DC anyway.
Guess we
And
gotta
then-
do it now.
All 4 issues, maybe we should. All 4 issues of If You Find This, I'm Already Dead. I have no idea what this is. It's magazine sized. Looks kind of interesting. And then Tom, not going to pronounce that last name because I'd just completely butcher it, but Babylon. This is published by Fantagraphics. It's definitely not a comic though. This is more of an art book. Which makes sense. Fantagraphics just kind of publishes whatever they want.
Very strange, very weird art.
Have you already looked through this one?
I did, yes.
Yeah. Well, now we kind of have to show a few things. It's interesting. I can see why this person has a following large enough to get a book. I mean, like that piece is great.
That looks kind of like something I draw, honestly.
Yeah.
Outside of
I
Chihuahua,
could see,
of course.
if you started studying this guy's artwork, him becoming a great
Inspiration.
inspiration to you. Yeah, I could see him becoming a great inspiration to you.
Yeah. I love the pencils and like the shading and everything that he does.
I love that he has salt and pepper shakers for the eyeball.
That is great.
It's one thing to eat an eyeball raw, which clearly is, these can't be cooked because eyeballs would pop when they're being cooked, right?
Yeah.
But
They're too squishy.
of course it also, like, I don't know that you could just jam a fork into an eyeball. I'm not sure you couldn't though. In any case, you don't want to eat an eyeball unseasoned though. That is just not good. You have to eat one seasoned. And then you got
I
that.
love this one.
That's a fucked up looking thing.
We're gonna have to censor this one.
Why is that, guys?
His
Face
nose is
going into a butt?
butt.
Oh, okay. Trying to figure that out. Very cool art. Very cool. I've never heard of him before. But obviously, big enough name to warrant a sketchbook, so maybe I should be looking into him.
Yeah.
Another from the pages of Hellboy. I think this is actually the same one as before. This came from the tote that the mom had just given me for free. Zombie Cop. I've read this. I think I still have it. I really like this one. This is about a cop who's been infected with the zombie virus, but he won't let him overtake it until he solves his last crime. His last investigation, whatever you want to call it. Baby Teeth. I have no idea what Baby Teeth is. It's written by Donnie Cates. Is that how you say his name? It looks great. I love the look of it. So I'm definitely going to give these a try. And then Harrow County. If you've never taken a look at the inside of Harrow County, we had the privilege of sitting next to Tyler Crook at the Capitol City Con in Salem and watched him draw all day. He is an amazing artist. His artwork looks phenomenal. I've never read Harrow County, but I definitely plan on reading it now. Especially since I have multiple volumes of it. So it's kind of funny because I just been looking at this one online, Alistar and Adolf. No idea what this is about. I know that I like Michael Omin's artwork though, or however you say his name. So definitely going to be giving this one a read. Dark Ride. I have no idea what this is. Cover looks cool though.
Looks fun.
Predator Hunters 3. I think this is from Marvel's new line of Predator comics. I haven't read too many Predator comics, but I do like the Predators, so I'll probably give that one a read. God of War. Video game's pretty cool. Artwork on this looks cool. Give it a try. Malika Warrior Queen. So there's volume 2 and volume 1 in here. These look like they might be some sort of sword and sorcery book. So I'm going to give those a try. I have no idea what they are, though. I've never heard of it. Never read that one. Manor Black, another one that I don't know, but has artwork by Tyler Crook. And after watching him draw all day, I will definitely give it a read just based off that, because his art is really amazing. Sandman Universe Lucifer. So I don't think this one shares any continuity with the Mike Carey Sandman. I also think that I might already have this. I'm going to have to check to make sure. I'm going to give it a read, but it is kind of weird to me that it doesn't have any continuity with the Mike Carey story, which could be good or bad. Honestly, you probably don't want to read something in that universe if he didn't write it, because he did such a brilliant job on it. Red Sonja Age of Chaos. I didn't know they did this. I knew that Dynamite now publishes what were the Chaos characters without Lady Death. I didn't know that they crossed them over. Could be interesting. Could be the worst thing you've ever read. I don't know. It's going to go one of those ways. Red Sonja, The Price of Blood. I've read tons of Conan comics. I've not read hardly any Red Sonja comics. But I picked a couple of them up in this, so why not give these a read? This has a really cool Michael Linsner cover. Okay, so Aliens versus Predator, Thicker Than Blood. No clue if this is from the Dark Horse run. Oh, no, it's from the Dark Horse run. So I know that I like Aliens, I like Predator. I haven't really read too much of either of the comics, but might as well give that a try, see what it's all about. From the World to Hellboy, once again, it's all you need to know. This name right here, Mike Mignola. You don't need to hear anything else before you know that I'm going to read it. Witchfinder. This I'm really excited to get, especially for the price I paid. Parker, The Complete Collection by Darwin Cook. I really want the Martini edition, even though I've never read this. I know I'm going to like it because Darwin Cook was just an amazing creator who unfortunately is no longer with us. I've read enough Darwin Cook to know that I'm going to enjoy this. And Alan Bennett of Johnny Vega and Corpse Cop fame said that this is one of the greatest noir style comics that he's ever read. If he gives it that strong of a recommendation, I know I'm going to love this. Transhuman by Jonathan Hickman. And then also Red Mass for Mars and The Red Wing by Jonathan Hickman. Jonathan Hickman is a really good creator. I don't always like the weird graphic design stuff that goes on in his comics, but the writing is solid. And so I'll give each one of these a try. See if I like those. No idea what this is. Operation Dragon. It looks like a futuristic war that for some reason people are writing T-Rexes in. The cover is not very good, honestly. The interior looks a lot better. So I'm going to give this one a try. If we're just based off the cover, I probably wouldn't, because it has that, what would you even call this? Like semi-rotoscoped, photo bashed. The people are clearly photos, which I don't really like. But the artwork inside looks really good. So I'm going to give that one a try. As long as it's just, fun, that's all it has to be. Order and Outrage. No idea what this is. I know Rags Morales and Jim Starlin are both good names, so I'll give that a try. Autobiographics. Names on here like Will Eisner, Gabriel Ba, Fabia Moon, Stan Sakai, Sergio Aragonés. I mean, why not give that a try, right? And then Miss Truesdell and the Fall of Hyboria. by Mike Mignola from the world of Hellboy. Definitely going to give that one a try. Barbaric. So, this I have read the free comic book day edition of. I really like that. Glad to have the hardcover. Seems like it's going to be fun. Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red. This is a signed edition by Gail Simone. I don't really care about having my book signed, but it's still cool. And I like hardcovers, so that works. Red Sonja, She Devil with the Sword, Volume 5. Like that cover. It's a good looking cover. Joe Golem, Occult Detective. This is another one by Mike Mignola. I have no idea what this is exactly, but I do know I already own 3 of the hardcovers. I'm not sure if I own this one or not, so I just picked them up at Comic Cons. And then Miss Finch, one of the Neil Gaiman books. No idea what this one is. And then the British Paranormal Society, which is yet another from the world of Hellboy book. So I'll gladly give that one a try. So in total, the first 40 books that I bought, I paid $20 on the first day. When I came back, I asked him what he wanted for the remainder of the trade paperbacks. He said $10. So I gladly picked those up, and then we negotiated on the long boxes and the magazines. The long boxes, I'm not showing what's in those. That would be a really big video, and there's too many of them that I'm not interested in keeping. I might show the highlights from it in a future video, though. But whatever the case, he said $10 on those. I paid $20 on the first round of them. I paid $2 for one of the EC books that his mom was selling, and then $40 on the 2 long boxes and the magazines. So in total, I paid $72 for everything and got all this. What do you think about the deal I got?
I think that's insane, and you're never gonna find another deal like that again. Go
You
to
might
all the
be
comic
surprised.
shops and all of the Comic Cons in the world. I don't think you'll get.
Well, I'm not
this
going to get a
again.
deal like this at a comic shop.
No.
But who knows? I hit up enough garage sales, I might find it again.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'll add another video to show what I got.
Smug bastard.
So, like and subscribe if you want to see what the next huge collection that I pick up for absolutely nothing is. We didn't create the comics that were featured in today's episode, but we did create these. Check out Ghost Assassin in the Cards and the Chihuahua Who Flew Away mini comic, both of which were written by me. The Chihuahua Who Flew Away was illustrated
By me.